I usually try and not focus on like mainstream like stuff, but this is a pretty big story and it's grew a lot of arms and legs, so I do feel the need to sort of cover it as it's unraveling. Tearful Cassandra Ventura tells court Diddy beat and humiliated her. Now, so much stuff has been claimed with this Diddy stuff, but what I'll do is I'll go into it at the end. Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura has told the hip-hop mogul's sex trafficking trial that he controlled her life and coerced her into humiliating sex acts. The prosecution's star witness testified about the alleged physical and emotional abuse that she endured at the hands of the rapper during so-called freak-offs, or sexual encounters the couple had with male escorts. Family and friends have come to court in large numbers to support Mr. Combs, whose legal team has not yet questioned Miss Ventura. Mr. Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges including racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Miss Ventura fell in love with Mr. Combs. Prosecutors began by questioning Miss Ventura, one of their two central witnesses in the case, about her 11-year on-and-off relationship with Mr. Combs. Now 38 and pregnant with her third child, she met Mr. Combs when she was a 19-year-old aspiring singer and he was 37. His record label would later sign Miss Ventura as an artist, and shortly afterwards their romantic relationship began. At the time she testified, she felt like they were in a monogamous relationship, though she knows now that he had other girlfriends. She said that she fell in love with the larger than life entrepreneur and musician, but it was not long before she noticed another side to him, she said. Mr. Combs wanted to control every part of her life, Miss Ventura says. Mr. Combs wanted to control her life, Miss Ventura said. She said that he paid for her home, her cars, her phone, and other technology that he would sometimes take away to punish her. Control was everything, from the way that I looked to what I was working on, Miss Ventura said. Eventually, she claimed the control turned violent. Mr. Combs would bash on my head, knock me over, drag me, and kick me frequently, Miss Ventura testified, sometimes through tears. She alleged that she was left with swollen lips, black eyes, and knots on her forehead. Well, what did you do? I'm joking. Miss Ventura felt humiliated by freak-offs. Prosecutors spent hours on Tuesday asking Miss Ventura about so-called freak-offs. Miss Ventura told the court how Mr. Combs introduced her to these sexual events during the first year of their relationship. They would hire a male escort or stripper to have sex with Miss Ventura while Mr. Combs watched. Miss Ventura told the court that she first tried the encounters to make Mr. Combs happy, but she said they humiliated her and sometimes lasted 3 to 4 days. I felt pretty horrible about myself, she told the court, wiping away tears. It made me feel worthless. Miss Ventura told the court she never wanted to have sex with anyone but Mr. Combs and claimed she would take a myriad of drugs, marijuana, ecstasy, and ketamine to help her perform to Mr. Combs' satisfaction, but also to dissociate. This is, well, I was about to say there, how the hell's ketamine going to do that? But dissociate, yeah, ketamine will do that. As prosecutors pressed Miss Ventura about the freak-off, she told the court of how Mr. Combs would direct her to find male escorts, strippers, or dancers to have sex with while he watched. She alleged that Mr. Combs would pay the men anywhere from $1,500 to $6,000 in cash, depending on their performance. They found the men through stripper companies and sites like Craigslist. Some of their photos were displayed to the jurors, including Daniel Phillip, who finished his testimony earlier on Tuesday. Miss Ventura and Mr. Combs had the encounters in cities around the world, including Los Angeles, New York, Las Vegas, and Ibiza, Spain, Miss Ventura testified. Sometimes men would be flown in during vacations, she alleged, and Mr. Combs would direct her to ask staff to pay for and arrange their travel, calling them new employees. Among other charges, prosecutors are trying to prove that Mr. Combs engaged in sex trafficking, human trafficking for the purpose of sexual exploitation, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Mr. Combs directed, Miss Ventura says. As prosecutors pressed Miss Ventura for graphic details, one key element emerged. Miss Ventura claimed that Mr. Combs controlled every part of the encounters. He chose the outfits she wore, down to the extremely high heels that she kept on for hours, as well as the sexual acts that transpired and the lighting, Miss Ventura told jurors. If Sean wanted something to happen, that was what was going to happen, she said. I couldn't say no. Sometimes Miss Ventura said she would take the lead on which male escorts to hire because Mr. Combs was very busy, but she only did so at his direction, she said. She said Freakoffs had a very specific pattern of sexual acts each time. He was controlling the whole situation, she alleged. He was directing it. At times, Miss Ventura said that she tried to tell Mr. Combs that she felt horrible, but when he dismissed her concerns, she said she relented, worried he would get angry or question their relationship. Miss Ventura is expected to continue her testimony on Wednesday, when she could also face cross examination. Now, in regards to the Diddy story, there is a lot of stuff that I have heard right now, and there's some of it that I'm like, I'm going, yeah, I'm convinced that was happened, that happened. Some of it I'm like, all right, that's a little bit plausible. Some of it I'm like, that's complete utter bullshit that someone has just made up. Right. So basically, what this woman's saying, yeah, I could probably kind of see it, because let's face it, Diddy's a gay man. Diddy's a gay man. People have known this since like the early 2000s. Right, he's had not just girlfriends, he's had multiple boyfriends, right? Everyone is kind of knew that. Loads of people in the rap community and the Hollywood community, all of them, they knew. They all knew it, but they all have a kind of code of silence about each other's sexual proclivities, because many of them are illegal and involve underagers. But anyway, now, as for underage girls being at these parties and having sexual acts committed on them, totally believe. Totally believe that. Another one, though, was it was like... Diddy had his secret underground tunnel built in his house to smuggle these child prostitutes in. Not sure I believe that. You would just bring them in the front door, right? Filming people and doing blackmail on them. Yeah, I totally believe that. Totally believe that. If there's one thing you want to keep yourself safe and people snitching on you, is you basically get them wrapped up in the illegal stuff you're doing, get evidence of it, and basically saying to them, if you tell anyone, I'm going to release this about you. Absolutely, totally believe that. Diddy does seem like that type of scumbag, right? You don't have literally 1,000 bottles of baby oil in your house if you're not into some degenerate stuff, right? So that, I totally believe that part. However, Justin Bieber was tied down on a bed while 8 men ran a train on him while he was crying and screaming. I don't believe that, right? Come on now. And this is some of the stuff that they're saying. There was child sacrifice happening inside that. Come on. Right, now, the problem is see, when you start making up mental stuff like that and they find out that it's not true, it starts to delegitimize all the actual accusations against them. Right, that's the problem. That's what can be the issue. So if you start adding more and more mental and madder stuff onto the story, it starts to delegitimize the real stuff. Because if basically 80% of the stuff claimed about him was found out to be not true, people are going to assume the other 20% is also not true, when it could be actual crimes and stuff that he committed. Right? So it seems that, yeah, there was a bunch of fuckery, there was a bunch of degenerate and horrible stuff that went on. There was probably a lot of sexual assault, a lot of horrible stuff that people felt pressured into doing. There was probably a lot of blackmail. All that stuff I do believe happened. Right. But I don't think J-Lo did the stuff that is being claimed of her. I don't believe so. I really do doubt that. Right, so basically I'm just saying, if someone has done a bunch of shit, yeah, definitely call them out for it, but don't add a bunch of fake stuff onto it, because when it turns out that that stuff's fake, it throws all the other stuff into question, and you could be, in the process, jeopardizing the entire case.